Imagine a country so small you can drive from one end to the other in 40 minutes. A country that is formally a constitutional monarchy, but in practice an authoritarian oasis where the king never needs to raise his voice to know who is laughing too loudly. Bahrain, a small island with enormous tensions, one of the most underrated players in the Gulf. Politically, an ally of the United States. Religiously, torn between a Sunni monarchy and a Shia majority. Economically, ambitious but dependent. Socially, complex like a Rubik's Cube. And that is precisely why advertising in Bahrain looks like nothing you've ever seen anywhere else. Because here, advertising does not speak. It hints, suggests, encodes meaning like Cold War messages transmitted in the static of old radios. This is a world where a billboard doesn't sell a dress, but a feeling of belonging. A world where a TikTok influencer doesn't show her body, but the beauty of tradition carried in the soul. A place where Coca-Cola doesn't compete with Pepsi, but with cultural boundaries that cannot be crossed, and that no one will ever explain to you. Who is the audience of a Bahraini ad? Bahrain is not a single market. It is a constellation of micro-markets. The Saudi tourist who comes for a relaxed weekend, wanting to sin quietly but never without luxury. The Shia suburban resident, often excluded from mainstream messaging yet existing in every statistic. The Indian money exchange owner, the Pakistani mechanic, the Filipino receptionist, foreigners in the system but pillars of the economy, the American diplomat, the British manager, the Chinese investor, high value but sensitive, and finally, the local Arab middle class, who know everything, see everything, but pretend to see nothing. In Dubai, advertising is a fireworks show. In Saudi Arabia, a show of strength. In Bahrain, a dance of shadows. Only here, a TV commercial may have music but no rhythm. A woman may smile but cannot look into the camera. A slogan may imply emotion but never name it. Sometimes the best campaign is the one no one notices, except those who were meant to notice. Bahraini advertising is a subconscious language, saturated with symbols, colors, gestures, whose meaning exists only within the correct socio-religious context. Bahrain is the laboratory of the region's advertising future. If you want to understand what can and cannot be said in a world that looks modern but functions like a medieval court, you must understand Bahrain as a cultural code. This is where messages are tested before they go to Saudi Arabia, where the boundaries of conservatism and modernity are explored, where you can fall into a trap faster than you can translate your tagline. In this episode, we walk not only through the districts of Manama, but also through media ecosystems, pop culture codes, and unspoken rules. We show you a world of ads that cannot look like ads. Let's begin. Bahrain is a market of 5 truths and 1 narrative. At first glance, everything looks familiar. Malls, Carrefour, H&M, Starbucks, Audi, Gucci, billboards with women, smiles, sunbeams. But look closely. Why is the woman shown only to her shoulders? Why does a suit advertisement contain a Quranic verse? Why does a "Be Yourself" slogan use a font that looks like government propaganda? It is not an accident, it is architecture of social compromise. Bahrain is a cushion state between Saudi Arabia and Iran, inhabited mostly by Shia, but ruled by a Sunni royal family, aligned with the US and the UK, but living next to Iran and competing with Qatar for influence. Every ad in Bahrain is a political risk. A jewelry ad cannot flaunt too much luxury. It might antagonize poorer classes. A car ad needs a pan-Arab version and a local one, because neighbors are watching. A drink commercial better not suggest quenching thirst during Ramadan, even if aired after sunset. Learn the cultural codes no one will explain to you. Bahrain has an invisible class system that shapes every piece of communication. The ruling class, Sunni Arab elite. Aspirational, elegant, calm, often styled after European aesthetics with an Arab twist. The middle class, mixed. Safe campaigns full of inspiration and values. The Shia majority, often invisible in mainstream ads but present in local, social, or religious campaigns. Migrant workers, targeted through unofficial channels, mobile ads, SMS campaigns, shop promotions, leaflets. In Europe, advertising provokes. In Bahrain, advertising avoids provocation like fire. Not because society isn't ready, but because the system doesn't permit it. And brands, they must adapt, otherwise they disappear faster than they can translate their slogans. How do you do marketing in Bahrain without a name? In the Middle East, an influencer is not a profession, it's a political position. In Saudi Arabia, you can be jailed for a tweet. In the UAE, you can be a Gucci ambassador only if you also promote Dubai. In Qatar, a female influencer cannot dance but can review the airport. And in Bahrain you can be famous, as long as no one really knows who you are. This is a kingdom of half shadows, where influencers don't build a brand but survival, and any brand wanting to work with them must learn to play the same game. Where does real marketing happen? Not on billboards, not on TV. The tools are Instagram, faceless, filled with Quran quotes and products for the soul. Snapchat, closed social circles, semi-legal local stories. TikTok, used cautiously, coded, heavily self-censored. WhatsApp and Telegram, viral PDFs, trusted circle promotions, mobile micro-campaigns. Officially, there are no marketers, no agencies, no names, and yet hundreds of thousands buy that specific cream, that eyeliner, that perfume. Bahraini society, especially among the Shia majority, merges two worlds, the world of religion and authority, and the world of beauty, consumption, and pop culture. But these worlds cannot meet on screen. Thus, hybrid communication emerges. A female influencer reviewing perfumes without describing their ingredients, only spiritual impressions. A Shia religious scholar who does not recommend but subtly hints what is pure of heart. An elderly woman from Muharraq filming recipes with, "And this flower brand, you know you can trust it." That is not advertising. That is social testimony. The traps of collaboration US and UK companies often make the same mistakes, trying Western-style influencer collabs, demanding statistics, affiliate links, real names, asking for numbers that are irrelevant in Bahrain. The result? Campaigns blocked by the Ministry of Information. Influencers disappear. Brands earn the reputation of arrogant Westerners. In Bahrain, you do not ask about reach. You ask, does your mother trust this person? What cannot be shown? The list is invisible, but very real. A woman's face without makeup, too personal. A woman's face with makeup, too provocative. A man recommending products for women, taboo. Testing a product on yourself on camera, an intimate violation. What is allowed? Quran quotes paired with a package of dates. The word baraka, blessing, with a food product. A child in the background with the caption, tradition that connects generations. One rule is absolute. Never, ever use the word sexy, even metaphorically, even as confidence. It will be censored. Example, the hidden shampoo revolution. A local herbal shampoo for women wearing hijab, launched without a campaign, without billboards, without a website. Instead, handwritten notes in corner shops, Ali recommends it. A TikTok story, my aunt uses this, I'll try too. And a PDF review circulating on WhatsApp. Result, sold out in 2 weeks. No trace of conventional advertising, because in Bahrain advertising equals trust. And trust cannot be advertised. Women in Bahraini advertising present only on the condition of absence. Bahrain is full of paradoxes. It is one of the Gulf's most liberal societies, with women in politics, business, and public life. Yet it is governed by Sharia norms, patriarchy, and an unwritten rule. Women cannot flaunt themselves. A woman may be a minister, but cannot run a lingerie campaign. She may own a beauty brand, but cannot advertise makeup too openly. She may be a TikTok star, but cannot dance. And even a wide smile showing teeth is risky. Women drive advertising, but not literally. Visually. On TV, long sleeves, covered neck, modest makeup. In print, the quiet expert, never the leader. Outdoor, only eyes, hands, or a profile, never the full face. Women appear symbolically as the daughter, pure, gentle, protected. The wife, elegant, subtle, devoted. The mother, strong, caring, silent. One figure is missing. The independent woman. She cannot be shown. In some circles, it is punishable. Regulation and self-censorship, the invisible wall. There is no official document saying a woman must be covered in ads, but everyone knows it. So a secret code of preventive rules exists. No legs, no lips in motion, no dance-like poses, no suggestive gestures. A woman can exist, but as a shadow, a voiceover, a silhouette behind a curtain, a metaphor. Example, a Bahraini luxury perfume brand aired a campaign with no woman on screen, only flowers, water, light, a Quran quote, a female hand holding the bottle, and an off-screen whisper, "For the woman who knows who she is before she says how she feels." It became a hit, because it wasn't about a woman, it was about womanhood. When a woman shows too much, recent cases. A female influencer posted a full makeup, no hijab video, campaign removed, account banned, brand apologized. A women's fitness ad with a woman jogging in leggings, blocked by the ministry. A cooking blogger filmed without covering her hair. Threats, silence, she eventually left the country. Bahrain does not punish formally. Bahrain punishes socially. Brands that adapted successfully. Some global brands learned the logic. Dove, Real Beauty, featuring hands, eyes, quotes. Nike, female voice, no face, internal strength. Nestlé, a Mother's Day campaign with an empty chair and children's words. Women are more present in sound than image. Their voices narrate, guide, inspire. But the body must disappear. Remember, advertising in Bahrain is not about you. It is about who you are in the eyes of others. In a world where family honor is currency and generational ties define every decision, from marriage to business, advertising cannot be individualistic. Buy this because you want to is Western. In Bahrain it is, buy this because your father would approve. Or, buy what strengthens family bonds. The heroes of Bahraini ads are the father, pillar of reason, appearing in insurance, investment, real estate ads. The mother, heart of the home, guardian of tradition. The child, clean, disciplined, proud. The grandparents, symbols of legitimacy. Advertising in Bahrain is a moral sermon. Western ads say, "You deserve this." Bahraini ads say, "Because of your loyalty, we are together." Why does it work? Because the family is the real decision-making institution. When modernity goes too far, a smartphone brand made a campaign about a boy running away from home to find himself. It was removed. A counter hashtag praising family unity went viral, and the brand apologized. Because the home is not a burden. The home is sacred. Advertising in Bahrain is a mirror, not of individual desires, but of collective pride. Your mother would be proud of you. Where advertising ends and taboo begins, there exists a shadow zone of products that can be used but not advertised. Sensual perfumes, lingerie, feminine hygiene products, contraception, alcohol sold only to foreigners, erotic items, wide smiles, bold female voices, dance, sexuality, bodily autonomy, female independence. Strategists follow an unwritten rule. Say nothing that wouldn't be accepted simultaneously by your uncle, your grandfather, and your local imam. Marketing passes through 3 filters: religious, social, familial. Only then, the customer. What Bahraini advertising refuses to mention: desire, rebellion, individuality, sexuality, gender identity, non-normative love, mixed relationships, Western decadence. Silence is strategy. The quieter the brand, the stronger the impact. Those who speak too much expose themselves. Those who whisper, persuade. Bahrain is not a market. It is a stage. A stage where power, religion, tradition, and private longing collide. Advertising is not communication. It is survival. The language of half shadows, where every frame contains more meaning than it shows. Take a billboard. In Europe. Simple. Dresses, a big sale sign, a smiling model. In Bahrain, a woman to the shoulders, a slogan about beauty of the soul, a line about tradition that unites. Take a car ad. In the UK or USA, horsepower, acceleration, speed. In Bahrain, silence, a family leaving a mosque, the father's hand on the son's shoulder. Strength of tradition that guides. The message is understood instantly, because in Bahrain, advertising does not speak, it suggests. Brands that act like in the West fail. A U.S. cosmetics giant showed a woman without a headscarf, confidently smiling. Removed in 2 days. Influencer banned. Apology issued. Because in Bahrain, a woman may appear only as a presence in absence. This is the magic of Bahrain. Advertising here must never shame, divide, or challenge. It must whisper, not shout. It must connect, not separate. It must please the father, reassure the mother, honor the clan. Bahraini advertising is not a call to action. It is a quiet promise of belonging. And this is why Bahrain is the Gulf's testing ground for future communication, a place where silence carries more power than words. Advertising here works not through provocation, but through subtlety, not through imagery, but through the absence of imagery, not through noise, but through meaningful quiet. Bahrain teaches one lesson. The strongest advertisement is sometimes the one wrapped in silence. If this story opened a new perspective for you, leave a like. It helps YouTube show this material to others who want to understand Bahrain beyond a tourist postcard. And if you want to stay with us for the next episodes, hit subscribe. Your click is our voice in a world where silence sells more than shouting.